Good morning, everybody! Welcome in and happy Tuesday! Happy Tuesday, everybody! Good to see you all. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Good morning, good morning. Hope y'all are doing fantastic today. Hello, hello. Excuse me. Oh, goodness gracious. Hello. Hope y'all are doing fantastic today. Good morning. Hello, hello. How is everybody's Tuesday so far? Hope it's going well. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. I am not quite awake, even though I've been up for a little bit, so I apologize. It is Tuesday, and it's Shades for Shades. Hello, Shades. Good to see you. Can't stay for long because I have online class in 30 minutes, and the midterms of my summer semester is the 13th of this month. Oh boy. I wish you luck, Dark. You got this. Hearing for my literal entire life right now? Why is that, Maddie? Midterms, yuck? Oh, absolutely. Hate that. Got to see Inside Out 2 in theaters a couple days ago. It was astonishing. Ah, awesome. I'm gonna have to wait for it to come out on streaming devices before I can watch it. Hoping for a breather, an idiot rear-ended my dad's car yesterday. Had to bring him to the ER, but thankfully he's fine. Nothing broken, just really sore pain. Ouch! I hope that everything will be okay and that they catch the guy. Hopefully the 13th isn't on a Friday? It's on a Saturday. It's a Saturday, don't worry. But everybody that was here yesterday, I have an announcement to make. You remember how I said I was going to change the new lines, the Shinichi and the Kaito lines to English lines? You remember how I said that yesterday at the end of stream? I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it!
Sparkling wine is a specialty of Mondstadt.
But I did do something
Mix it with
else.
3 parts dandelion wine,
There you go.
and the bitterness disappears completely. This concoction is known as Death in the Afternoon. Delectable.
I did try something else though. I did make those additions, but yes, now you can see the guy on the line. Hopefully that'll provide less confusion. But I can't change the line. I can't change the line. I'm trying so hard to find, like, you know, the English dubs and such. But I can't do it. I can't do it. The original English dub is rather old. And it's kind of hard to try to find lines that I think would be right. That would be fitting. So I can't switch it. I even listened to Griffin Burns' version for the 2016 OVA that came out. And it was using the correct names and everything too, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I can't change it. I tried so hard to keep an open mind and everything, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Quick question: do you like Captain America because of his character or because of his live actor? Both. Both is good. Both is good. Did you add Cap to the lines? No. I'm probably not gonna add very many more characters after this yet, until I can get an even number, because all the percentages have to add to 100, and with 10 characters, there's a 10% chance of getting each character. So for right now, it's good. Right now, it's good. I didn't think that the DLC of Resident Evil Village would be that scary, but this is some next level horror. Oh gosh. Are you in the mood for singing today? I love to sing. Are you kidding me? I'm always in the mood for singing. I should have seen that coming. I should have seen that coming. Thank you. Thank you for redeeming Sing Mode, Danny. What would you like to hear? And the village was kind of a bummer for me. Really? Huh. I've never played Resident Evil, nor do I desire to. So I can't really, I don't really have an opinion to voice on Resident Evil. I got my Jujutsu Kaisen manga yesterday. Ooh, nice. To answer your earlier question, we got the Fool's insurance and receipts and reports. Pause filling a claim right now, as I hope you would. I hope that you guys get the justice that you need to take care of a fool like that. Jeez. Plot twist: the reason why Arya started to love Captain America is because she knew from the actor she loves Chris Evans. Why can I not just like the character? I like the character, okay? The fact that Chris Evans is attractive is just another bonus, you know? Okay? He is an attractive man. But I am not attracted to him. He is married. I know. That is not okay. I can admit he is attractive without being attracted to him. Okay? Okay. Exactly. It's not always about the celebrity, mind you. Exactly. I was gonna ask you on Saturday since it fits better, but Simple and Clean or Sanctuary? Your choice. Oh. Okay. I think I know which one I'm going with then. Oops, wrong one. Blah blah blah. Arya basically loves the Chris Cap in movies, but not as a person. Yes! Exactly! What choice is this? Hold on, give me a sec. Simple and Clean or Sanctuary? Hold on, let me see. I know both of the songs are good. I am aware. But I think I know which one I'm gonna go with today. If it comes up again later, I will do the other one, but I'll do this one today. You give me too many things lately. You're all I need. Oh, you smiled at me and said, don't get me wrong, I love you, but does that mean I have to meet your father? When we are older, you'll understand what I meant when I said no. I don't think life is quite that simple. When you walk away, you don't hear me say, please, oh baby, don't go. Simple and clean is the way that you're making me feel tonight. It's hard to let it go. And that's it. That's all you get. I know I wanted to continue onwards, but that's all you get. That's all you get. Wow. Anyway. Because looking at the time, we gotta get started. We gotta get started here. We've got to continue. Hold on, let me switch screens here. Hold on. There it is. I was like, why is the game not showing up? That's weird. But there it is. Alright. But we've got investigation to get through. We got a lot of stuff to get through. If you remember from last time, we got a huge lore dump the last time. So we'll just have to see how far we can go this time. It's gonna be crazy. And we've got a long way to go still. Alrighty. Everybody ready? Are we ready, chat? It's time to continue. Ready? And let's go. Alright. If you remember, we just finished talking to Bikini about the fact that Iris has a twin sister. I wonder who in the world that main sister could be. I wonder who it could be. Starting things off with a serious face nun. Indeed. But I think I'm gonna check on someone else real quick. Oh. The cops are still combing the place. Look pretty nervous. I'd be nervous too. It's gotta be a tough job. Oh! Hi! Hey, speak of the devil, there he is! Hi! I mean, just the person I was looking for. Hey, Edgeworth. Especially with someone giving you the evil eye the whole time. Could I have done that? Wow. I can't believe it's still bothering me. Dark! No bonk! Edgeworth? Ah! Hey! Don't you dare run away! What do you want, right? What do I want? You came here to laugh at me, then get on with it. Go on, laugh away.
I was ready to hug it out with him, but he's just the same prideful Edgeworth.
He's embarrassed! He's just embarrassed.
Thirsty.
Thank you for the hydrate.
You went back to the Criminal Affairs Department, right? You said you wanted to look into something concerning Iris. Yes. And thanks to what I found, I was reminded of something terrible.
What on earth was it?
You guys are putting a lot of effort into the investigation of the garden here, huh?
Can we rename the Metal Pipe Redeemed to Metal Bonk? No.
There's a high chance this is the actual scene of the crime. That's why. You mean because of the writing in blood and the talisman in the snow? Exactly. As you know, those things couldn't have been planted here after the murder. But surely, you don't suspect Maya, do you? Have to treat everyone as a suspect. Maya, as well as Iris. It's our job, right?
Oh, poor Edgeworth. He really doesn't want to. Laugh. That line feels familiar. Like back in Case 4 of the first game. Or I'm imagining things. No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Well, I guess you still haven't gotten over your fear of earthquakes. No. Though thankfully, my nightmares have stopped. But still, if the ground gives even the slightest tremor, I find myself short of breath.
Poor Miles.
17 years ago, we were little school kids at the same elementary school. Edgeworth found himself in the middle of a murder. It all started with that big quake that hit the courthouse. Yes, I was stuck in the elevator with my father, who was a defense attorney. We were deprived of oxygen. We passed out. That's when it happened. That single gunshot shattered my whole life. I lost everything, all because of that earthquake.
Oh, Miles.
My dreams, my family, and myself. It's been more than 17 years now.
Good luck on the chores, Dark.
And that case was finally resolved 2 years ago, right? Think I don't know that? I was there. Such a shock. I never imagined I could be so wrong about myself and my life. Sorry, Ryan. There's nothing else I can say. Not after you chose to become a lawyer for my sake. And not after you saved me. Stronger than you think, so no more of this self-pity, okay?
Ah, Miles! Ah.
There was something about...
1, 2, 3. Emotions took over for a sec.
There was something that bothered me about her from the moment we met. I felt like I had seen her somewhere before. No, wait. Not somewhere. I felt like I'd seen her in court before. So you went back to the Criminal Affairs Department to look for her file? Yes. I checked over every case file I've ever worked on. I was right. I had seen her face before. 6 years ago. 6 years ago? It was my first appearance in court. And as cases go, it was my worst nightmare. So? Where is she? I'm sorry, Wright. I can't give that information away to a member of the general public. What? Why not? It might be the crucial piece of the puzzle that solves this case. The woman I knew was the daughter of a jewelry store owner. She had nothing to do with Iris and Hazakura Temple. And neither did the case. That woman is completely unrelated to this murder. Unrelated? Yes, I can say that with complete confidence. You're wrong, Edgeworth. She's totally related to this case. I need to fill Edgeworth in. I need to explain the connection between Iris and the woman Edgeworth knew.
Alright. Let's present that profile, shall we? Alright.
Hey, Edgeworth. Did you know that Iris had a twin sister? What? A twin? You can't be serious. Sister Bikini told me, but the problem is she didn't know the name of the twin. There was nothing about Iris having a sister in the files I checked. Well, Iris was taken in by the temple when she was really young. Apparently her sister was raised by her father. A jeweler, I think. A jeweler? Right, I might just know who this twin sister of hers is. I had a feeling you'd say that. Let me guess. Her name is Dahlia Hawthorne, right?
There she is. The menace. The demon. Dahlia Hawthorne. The menace.
Yes, exactly. Please tell me what you know about her, Edgeworth.
I was wondering why they used the same assets but different hair and clothes. Well, now you know. They're twins.
It was my first court case, 6 years ago. I was a greenhorn, and due to my inexperience, the defendant died. You're talking about Terry Falls, right? You know about that case? You're not the only one who noticed something on Iris and Dahlia Hawthorne. I checked on one of Mia's old files from 6 years ago. Yes, Dahlia was a key witness in that case. Dahlia and Terry Falls conspired together to stage a fake kidnapping 11 years ago. They stole a jewel worth $2 million from Dahlia's father, a jeweler. And 5 years after that, she murdered her own sister, Valerie Hawthorne, to keep her from talking. Her sister? Well, her stepsister, actually. They weren't blood related. Valerie was the only daughter of Dahlia's father's second wife. Oh. This is when she entered my life. A woman who tried to kill me. So after Terry Falls died, what happened to Dahlia? Did you check that out? Does it really matter? Like I said, Dahlia isn't connected with this case. Why are you so sure about that? It's simple. Dahlia Hawthorne is dead.
Whoa! What? Oh?
What? Well, her metabolic processes are only a matter of interest. Are a matter of interest only to historians, so to speak. What do you mean by Dahlia Hawthorne is dead, Edgeworth? Right. I must confess that in reading her file, I came to know of the murder case you were involved in during your college year. Dahlia Hawthorne was found guilty, thanks to the persistence of Mia Fey.
Mia Fey! Mia Fey!
Time. Dahlia. It's like she was possessed by a demon or something. It's been almost 5 years since that guilty verdict was handed down, and her sentence was finally carried out. She was executed last month.
The death penalty.
Executed? I'm sure that's a bit of a shock for you. And for more reasons than one. But do you understand now? She can't possibly be connected with this case. She's dead. And once someone is dead, there is no way to revive them. Way to revive the dead. I wonder. It seems you're not aware of the other connection yet, Edgeworth. And what is that? About Iris and Dahlia Hawthorne's mother. What's their mother got to do with any of this? She's Morgan Fay, a spirit medium from a branch family of the Corrine channeling technique. Did you say Corrine channeling technique? Do you know something about it? Oh yes, I know it's connected with that fraudulent spirit medium. Fraudulent? I was involved in another nightmare 17 years ago. I was caught up in the middle of a murder investigation. The police didn't have any leads. They were stumped, but that's when they called her in. She was a very famous spirit medium and the master of her channeling school. But you know what happened? As a result of her efforts, an innocent man was accused of murder. She and her powers, they were all fraudulent. Go to the police records room. It's all in there. All you have to do is check the DL6 incident case file and you'll know. How could I forget? What was the victim in that case? Edgeworth, you'll understand someday. Then you'll see that the Corrine channeling technique is real.
Ah. Boy, oh boy. What a roller coaster. That's a roller coaster. Ah. Heavy stuff thus far. Indeed. Alright. Know what we're gonna do? We're gonna break those psych locks of irises. I heard a demon shouting from the flashback technology. Maybe we should erase that from the box. Perhaps. Right. Secret time.
I think it's time you told the truth about what you were doing that night. You said you were in your room at Hazakura Temple the entire time.
Oh my gosh, the glitching. The glitch. The glitch. By the way, I can give you a rough translation of that line now. The translation of that line is basically Kaito Kid talking about his sphere of fish. He's presented with a plate of fish for a dinner, and he's basically trying to say, oh my gosh, like, keep calm, put on the poker face. Thought we were safe from that glitch yesterday? We were. We were. But, yeah, there you go. There's a rough translation of that line. Anyways, back to the Cyclops. What's wrong with fish? There's nothing wrong with it. It's just Kaito Kid is scared of fish. He has a phobia. That's just part of his character.
You said you were in your room at Hazakura Temple the entire time. You still claim that to be true?
Yes. That's where I was. Poor guy. I know.
Iris, I believe you're innocent. That's why I want to believe what you're telling me too. But I can't. Because this person saw you somewhere else on the night of the murder.
Bikini saw you. How do you explain that, Iris?
I'm talking about Sister Bikini, of course.
Sister Bikini.
Her testimony in court today was very clear.
Imagine not being able to enjoy the cedar plank grilled salmon. Well, because he's scared of it, okay? You can't blame him for not wanting to eat it because he's scared of it.
Her testimony in court today was very clear.
That night, I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple, but, well, as you can see, my back likes to act up violently. So I left Iris to help the acolyte and returned to the Hazakura temple.
The Bikini didn't just see you. She spoke with you.
Phone! Gosh dang it. Hold on. Hello, phone notification.
You two talked about Maya's training that night. So you see, Iris, you were there at the inner temple on the night of the murder.
That's very impressive, Mr. Wright. The acolyte's actual training was due to start after 10 o'clock that night. I left the main hall early, so I wouldn't be late.
What time was that?
Let me see. It takes about 20 minutes to walk between the main hall and the inner temple. So I would have left at about 9:40 p.m., I think. I was helping an acolyte, but the flashback technology acted up violently. Oh my gosh. Why? All the flashback technology. No worries, Dark.
I'm sorry, Iris, but lying doesn't suit you.
Huh?
Now, you say you left the main hall at 9:40 p.m., but what you say doesn't add up with this.
Your own testimony doesn't back that up.
You yourself testified to the contrary, don't you remember? You said you rang the lights out bell at 10 o'clock that night. Thus, only moments before you rang the bell, you were seen at the main hall by the most reliable witness I have.
Who's that?
He.
That's right! Phoenix was there! He talked to her! Mr. Wright.
He even spoke a little that evening. That's when you gave me this. Surely you haven't forgotten.
No, that's right. I remember.
And that brings us to another puzzling fact, Iris. At 10 o'clock on the night of the murder, you were seen in 2 different places at the same time. It's time you told me exactly what's been going on, Iris. So far, I've managed to prove 2 things. First, on the night of the incident, you were at the inner temple. And on the second, at the exact same time, you were ringing the bell at Hazakura Temple. There's only one possible explanation for this apparent impossibility.
There were 2 of you. Oh, I see, Megrock. I gotcha. Can't wait to see why Godot looks like a bootleg Cyclops. Oh my gosh.
On the night of the incident, you were seen in 2 different places at the same time. Means there must have been 2 of you. I can't think of any other explanation, Iris.
But that's crazy! How could that be? There's only one of me! It's impossible!
Impossible? I wonder. The way you're trembling certainly seems to suggest otherwise.
You're seriously trying to suggest there's more than one of me? Then show me the evidence. Show me something that proves there is more than one of me. There is more than one of you, technically. In technical speakings. Given the circumstances, anything can happen.
I have a firm grasp of the situation now, Iris. You have a sister. A twin sister. That's right. Dahlia Hawthorne. A woman I know only too well.
I had no idea you Very impressive, Mr. Wright. But she's no longer.
Yes, I know. Sentence was carried out recently, wasn't it? I'm sorry. There's no need to explain now, is there, Iris? Second, you, who was here at the temple on the night of the murder. It was your twin sister, Dahlia Hawthorne.
But you just said it yourself a second ago. My sister's dead. Have you forgotten that?
Have you forgotten this, Iris? This is a channeling domain, a training ground of the Quran channeling technique. That night, someone channeled Dahlia's spirit, and you knew about it. And that's the secret you've been trying to hide from me. That's it.
I was in my room, in the main hall that night. As soon as I heard that I'd been spotted at the inner temple, I knew it was my sister, Dahlia, the other half of me who passed away last month.
Just as I suspected. The Iris that Sister Bikini saw at the inner temple on the night of the murder. It was Dahlia Hawthorne. Why didn't you tell me this before?
But because my sister always does the right thing.
Excuse me?
And because I mustn't get in the way of what she's trying to do. I already betrayed her once before. I can't do it again.
You betrayed her? What do you mean?
That's why I have to accept I may be found guilty. It's the only way.
What is she talking about?
Enjoy your class, Dark!
It's all coming together, indeed.
You know about it, don't you, Mr. Wright? About the fake kidnapping that took place here on Eagle Mountain 11 years ago. That was the start of it all. It's what started her down that twisted path. She started to commit crime after crime, and in the end, she lost her life. It's all because I betrayed her.
How did you betray her, Iris?
It was no coincidence that Eagle Mountain is where the exchange was to take place. After all, I helped plan the whole thing.
What?
But I got scared, so I ran away.
What are you talking about? Why would you help her? Stealing $2 million from your own father. That's awful. Hold on. There we go. That should fix it.
But I promised that I'd help. And she didn't do it for the money.
Huh?
It was revenge on our father.
Revenge? What do you mean by revenge?
He was a hideous man. He threw our mother away and then sent her to hell.
Mother. She must be talking about Morgan.
Our mother was the eldest daughter of the main branch of the Fae family. The main family had a lot of influence in many businesses and political circles at the time. As the eldest daughter, our mother was set to inherit all of that. 1, 2, 3. As the eldest daughter, our mother was set to inherit all of that as the next master. That's the reason our father married our mother in the first place. For power. But his plan backfired. As our mother's sister took it all from her. She took over as the master of Kurine.
That would be Misty Faye, Maya's mother.
But before long, the credibility of the Kurine tradition hit rock bottom. The new master, Mystic Misty Faye, made a terrible mistake. It
It was during the investigation of the DL6 incident. After that happened, our father took me and my twin sister away, leaving our mother and our home behind. He hated the place, said it was a hick dive, and that he had no reason to stay there.
That's when you came here to Hazakura Temple?
Yes, the woman my father took as his next wife already had a daughter, Valerie. I had no place in his new family, you see.
Oh.
And I haven't seen my mother once since then. Having the master's seat stolen from her, and being rejected by her own family. I've heard she's been very battered, spiritually and emotionally.
I think I'm finally beginning to see how the pieces fit together.
I have asked her everything I can in my capacity as a prosecutor. This incident, everything related to it goes back to the history of the Fae clan.
That's what it looks like. Iris, just one more thing I want you to tell me.
What is it?
During the incident in which your sister, Dahlia Hawthorne, poisoned a lawyer, he began a relationship with a certain college student in order to hide the evidence. That college student. Heard anything about him?
Well, I did hear one thing. She said she hated his guts.
See. Thank you for your help.
You're welcome.
Hurry up, Phoenix Wright! There is still much to investigate.
Leave these locks to me. I'll open them for you. I promise.
Thank you. I suppose I'd better continue my investigation. Still one giant secret left to unlock. Pearl's Cyclone.
Alright. There's one part left. Let's go back to Pearly and unlock those Cyclocks. Figure out what in the world she's hiding. All of this chaos born from the greed of man, and unfortunately it spread to more than it should have.
Look at that. It really did make a fire right in front of the shack.
Oh! Mr. Nick!
Ah! You're too late, Nick. If you came here for one of our potatoes, we've already polished them all off.
I think I've pretty much got all the evidence I need. Now I just need to find out what Pearls is hiding.
Alright. I still can't unsee that flag of Ireland. Oh gosh. Alright. There's one thing left to do. Here we go.
After dinner on the night of the murder, we were supposed to be in the Release Donim's room, reading a book together, correct?
Yes! I was so happy when she invited me! But I didn't go in the end.
You didn't go.
No, there was somewhere else I had to go instead. I was so worried. I had to go! I didn't know what to do with myself. I was so nervous.
The Pearls never went to Miss Donim's room. But she was too worried about something or someone else. Pearls. On the night of the murder, you went to this place, didn't you?
Where did Pearl go? Inner temple.
You went here, didn't you, Pearls? Like she's still not going to open up to me. This is where you went because you were so worried, right? The next question is, who or what were you so worried about? Now I'm going to take a guess, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, okay?
You mean you know?
If I'm right, will you tell me the whole truth?
Oh, okay.
You went to this place for one very simple reason, and that is...
You were worried about Maya, weren't you? Weren't you, sweetheart?
It's obvious what you were so worried about, Pearls. It was Maya, wasn't it? You knew the training Maya was undertaking was dangerous. After all, it was the special course.
I signed up for your special course.
Oh, whoa! Hello?
Hey, Zori!
Hey, Azuri! Welcome in! Good to see you!
Incoming raid from Zwery with 2 viewers. Welcome.
Welcome in, Raiders!
Welcome in, Zuri. How was the stream? I hope everything was well. For those of you who are new, my name is Aria. I'm a voiceover artist on YouTube, but as you can see, I also stream games over here on Twitch. Welcome in. Today we're playing some Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations today. We're getting through some secrets right now. Goodness gracious, but welcome in! How was the stream, Zuri? How was Elden Ring? How did that go? It was good. Did a lot of exploring in Elden Ring DLC and made good progress.
Nice! Good progress is always good.
I'm doing well. Like I said, we're uncovering some secrets right now.
We're uncovering some secrets right now in Trials and Tribulations. This case is a full loaded bag. Or should... Yes, reveal them secrets? Oh yeah, that's what we're doing right now.
Either way, if you need to go, Zuri, if you need to raid and run, if you need to get some food, water, rest, do what you need to do for your post-stream care. Otherwise, if you're gonna stick around, I hope you all will enjoy the stream. Anyways, thank you so much for that raid once again, and welcome in. Gonna be lurking as I need to get dinner? Enjoy the food, Zuri! Enjoy that food.
Well, my. Quite brave of you considering how cold it is. Huh?
Leon! Oh my goodness!
Leon Iffelheim joins the guild.
Leon, thank you so much for that follow and welcome to the Shadeslayer Guild. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
More than a loaded bag, it's a pile of rocks built into a high mountain. That is fair enough, Megarok. Young people can be so reckless with their health. Don't blame me if you become one with those you channel. Ha ha ha.
Sister Bikini scared you with what she said, didn't she? Because it was you who introduced Hazakura Temple to Maya in the first place. You felt responsible, didn't you?
Thinking about what could happen to Mystic Maya made me more and more worried. I couldn't sit still at all. That's why I decided to go and find out how she was doing at the end.
And we're clear now that you went to the Inner Temple that night, girls. What's not clear is what happened after that. About what time was it when you headed over to the Inner Temple?
It was probably around 9:30 when I left the main hall. I heard the real training was supposed to start at 10. I wanted to get there before it started, but there was so much snow, so I didn't get there until after 10 o'clock.
Until after 10? How did you know what time it was?
Because I heard the bell ringing for lights out.
You heard the lights out bell? The Hazakura Temple's bell is pretty small though, isn't it? You must have had really good hearing.
I was really trying to pick up that sound of the bell. That's all. I didn't want to miss it. That would be terrible.
She was trying to hear the bell? Tell me, girls, why were you so worried about hearing that bell?
Huh? Oh,
I think I know why. The reason you were so worried about that bell was because of this.
As soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit. Huh?
Were given some instructions to follow that night, weren't you? I presume you recognize these pieces of paper?
Where did you...
In the incinerator at the Inner Temple. Girls, you were following the instructions in this letter that night, weren't you? That's why you couldn't afford to miss the sound of the lights out bell.
I'm speechless, Mr. Nick! You're amazing!
These instructions that were found in the incinerator. I believe they were written for you, Pearls.
For me? No.
As you can see, a large portion has been burnt. but the last section is still fairly legible. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit. Who was it, Pearls? Whose spirit were you supposed to be channeling? Taking into account the author of the note and their purpose for writing it, whose spirit would Pearls have been trying to channel? Don't overthink it, Phoenix. It's pretty obvious whose Pearl was supposed to channel. The person you were trying to channel that night, Pearls, was...
The only dead person on this list so far, other than the victim, Dahlia.
It was Dahlia Hawthorne, wasn't it? That was the name that was in the letter. Just as I suspected. It wasn't Iris whose sister Bikini met at the in her temple then. It was Dahlia Hawthorne. Do you know anything about her, Pearls? Do you know what kind of woman Dahlia Hawthorne was?
No. I've never heard of anyone by that name before reading those instructions.
Thought so. Pearls doesn't have a clue. She doesn't know what Dahlia's her sister. About the instructions in the letter I found, Pearls. Who wrote them? Whoever it was asked you to channel the spirit of someone you'd never heard of. You must have quite a lot of respect for them. After all, you followed their instruction without question. Here's my next question. Who wrote this set of instructions for you to follow?
There's only one obvious answer. Your mother. Her mother, Morgan Fay.
Pearls. I have to wonder about something. You didn't have any idea what these instructions meant, did you? But you followed them to the letter regardless. Why? Why? Because it was your own mother who asked you. That's why.
How did you...
I figured it out. The person who wrote you this letter was your own mother, Morgan Fay. Alright, Pearls. It's time you start telling me the truth. Why is she holding back from me? I don't like this.
Don't underestimate me just because I'm a child!
Huh?
If you're trying to say I followed these instructions, I'd like to see some proof.
What?
Because I don't think you have any.
She'd say anything rather than admit to carrying out those instructions. I guess I'll have to produce some more evidence then. One more thing should do it. Alright, Pearls. We both know someone carried out these instructions on the night of the murder. But you're right. There's no evidence that proves it was you.
I knew it!
However, I do know that whoever did it was a child.
Huh? How do you know that?
It couldn't have been an adult. No adult would have made a simple mistake like that.
A simple mistake? What do you mean by that?
I'm sure you thought you were carefully following the instructions you'd been given, but you misunderstood some of the words, and this is the evidence that proves it.
Right. How about this hanging scroll?
It was you who splattered gravy on this hanging scroll, wasn't it?
Why would I do something like that?
You remember what was written in that letter? Bravely roast the master in the fires of Hades, and bring our vengeance to fruition. You didn't know how to read the words gravely and roast among others, right?
How did you know that?
Remember the conversation you had with Miss Donim on the night of the murder?
Perhaps we can read some books together.
Really? I'd love to. I'm not very good at reading.
Well then, would you like to practice reading with me?
Miss Elise? So, for example, how do you read this?
It says gravely. That's kind of a tough word.
Sure, Miss Donim taught you how to read gravely and roast. But what she didn't teach you is what they meant.
Gravely sounded like gravy to me, and the only roast I could think of was the food.
And that's why you did it. That's why you covered the picture of the master in gravy from that night's pot roast.
Honest, I did think it was. I really did get the wrong.
Just a tiny bit.
I really am useless. I couldn't even burn the letter properly as my mother had asked of me. Such a simple thing, and I couldn't even do it right.
Oh, Pearly.
After dinner that night, I did go to the inner temple with a pot full of the leftover gravy.
The gravy?
I saw the picture on the hanging scroll near the sacred cavern. I was sure that it was the Master of Khura'in, like it had said in the letter.
I see. Then?
Well, it was already way past 10 when I got there because of all the snow. So I went to the inner temple guest area.
Guest area?
Yes, I thought I could wait there until the training was over.
Why didn't you just go to the training hall?
Because Mystic Maya's main training has already started, and I couldn't interrupt it.
Welcome back, Suri. How's the case coming?
Chaotically.
Thank you for the stretch.
I'm thirsty.
Thank you for the hydrate.
So I just prayed where I was. Stayed where I was and prayed for her to get through it. But then
Girls, you fall asleep?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to! I just couldn't help it!
Hey, don't worry about it, Pearl. Who cares if you fell asleep? I fell asleep waiting for Iris, too. It happens. Anyway, then you found yourself trapped at the inner temple?
Yes, when I woke up it was morning. I tried not to cry, but Dusky Bridge wasn't there anymore and there was no one in the training hall. Thought everyone had left me because I overslept.
Mission failed. We'll get 'em next time.
Oh, Pearly.
I threw the letter into the incinerator. Then I heated up the leftover gravy and
let off some steam by chucking the gravy on the scroll while you cried. It must have been pretty scary for you, Pearls.
Huh? Saint Seiya, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I know what it's like. Nick used to leave me behind when I fell asleep at school, too.
Oh, I see, Saint Seiya. My bad.
Don't equate something so trivial with her experience, Larry.
it was written right in my mother's letter. It said, as soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit. I was on my way over to the inner temple when I heard the bell ring.
Channel Dahlia Hawthorne's spirit?
I tried, but I couldn't do it.
You couldn't do it?
I've never failed at channeling someone. This is the first time it's happened. I tried and tried and tried. Yesterday, this morning, the whole time. But I just couldn't do it.
But don't let it get you down, Pearl. It'll all work out. If you want, I'll come flying through the sky for you. Whoosh! Just like that.
Alright, Saint Seiya, thank you for stopping by. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Stay sharp.
So she never managed to channel the spirit. Is that why you think your spiritual powers are gone?
Yes, I don't know what to do.
Isn't there any other explanation for why you couldn't channel a spirit?
I suppose there's one other possibility. It's not very likely, though.
Could you please tell me what it is anyway?
Could happen if someone else was already channeling the same spirit.
Someone else?
Hold on. I'll fix it.
Someone else? What do you mean?
there's only one of each spirit, right?
Yep, it's like dating a girl, Nick. You can't see a hot chick if she's already taken. That would mean on the night of the murder, someone else channeled her spirit before Pearls could. Someone else channeled the spirit of Dahlia Hawthorne.
I'm a failure. Couldn't even grant my mother's final wish.
Her final wish.
This letter. This is my last wish, she said. So make sure you follow the instructions carefully.
This letter. I definitely need to find out more about it.
My mother has gone to a place called a penitentiary.
Yeah, I know, Pearl.
I visit her every month. And last month she told me.
The time we've been waiting for has come, Pearl. There's something I need you to do for me. I hid a letter for you at our home before they brought me here. I want you to read it and do exactly what it says. It's for the good of the Fae clan. You'll be doing a great thing. Now listen carefully, and I'll tell you where the letter's hidden.
My mother is always so nice to me. I love her very much.
Yeah, moms will do anything for their kids, right?
She said it was for the good of the Fae clan, so I knew I had to help her. I mean, Mystic Maya's part of the Fae clan, so it had to be good for her too. That's right, isn't it, Mr. Nick?
I guess so. Yeah.
There was a picture with her letter too,
A picture.
of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Usually a picture is enough to channel someone's spirit. This time,
Pretty weird, huh? Like Larry knows anything about this stuff.
something else that was strange about my mother's letter. The seal on it was broken, as if someone had already opened it once before.
That sure is pretty strange. Someone had opened it already?
Orders from Morgan Fay. Opened once before.
Thanks, Pearl. Really helped me out.
You're very welcome. My mother is watching over us, so I'm sure Mystic Maya will be alright.
Look at that innocent smile on her face. What am I supposed to say to her? Ha! Finally figured it out, have you, trite? You finally realized how terrible of a crime being painfully oblivious is. Godot! The entrance to the sacred cavern looks like a freaking puzzle workshop. Guess he's talking about Iris and the lock-breaking effort. But it's all a waste of time. Why do you say that? Because Maya Fey isn't coming back. What? You don't know what you're talking about. How can you say something like that? Your job to protect her, trite. Just like it was your job to protect Mia Fey. Two sisters, caught up in the worst circumstance. I realize that. And you were the only one who was by their sides. You were the only one who could have saved them. I didn't know anything about what was going on. Ah, what did I just say, trite? Being oblivious is a heinous crime in itself.
Alright, bye, Panhead. Thank you for stopping by. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Stay sharp!
Tomorrow. They'll settle everything in court tomorrow. Once and for all.
Mr. Nick, is what that man just said true?
It'll be alright, Prince. I'm sure Maya's alive. You'll see for yourself tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right! I know I can trust you, Mr. Nick!
My dear Pearl, you've done so well. My Pearl. It's better that you don't know what you've done. I knew this. The blood of the main family is no more. For all this time, Master's seat is yours. My last. It seems I was destined.
Woo! Did you watch the Phoenix Wright anime? I have. I have played the game, the original trilogy, once before. And I've watched the anime a couple of times. So yes, I am aware of what happens, but still. Ooh, playing through the game is a little bit different because there's a lot of stuff that was left out in the anime for time's sake. Oh. Boy, oh boy. And we're just getting started. We've got the trial to go to next. Alrighty. I've got to refill my water bottle. I will be right back, everybody. Don't go anywhere. I will return shortly. BRB! Alright, I'm back. Alright. Let us continue on with the trial. February 10th, 9:39 a.m. District Court, defendant lobby number 1.
Good morning. Oh, are you by yourself?
Morning, Pearls.
Mr. Nick, please tell me what's going to happen to Mystic Maya.
Sorry. Oh, yet. The investigation is still ongoing, so I wasn't allowed into the inner temple.
I see. So is Sister Iris still trying to remove those trick locks in the training hall?
She's the defendant in this case, so she can't be at the inner temple. Required to be here.
And how come she's not here in the defendant's lobby?
I have to admit, it's kind of strange.
Can someone give me a quick recap of what happened while I was doing chores? Hold on just a sec. I gotta clear my throat. Okay. Basically, we've discovered that Dahlia Hawthorne was being channeled by somebody else. Was being channeled by someone. Making 2 irises in a situation where that shouldn't be possible. It's a little strange, but with Ace Attorney and Spirit Channeling, anything is possible. Hold on, I'm eating a popsicle. A little cold, but I'm trying to eat it as fast as I can. Cold. Anything is also possible with magic, but that's a topic for another adventure. I mean, magic is an art, as a certain someone would say. I didn't get a brain freeze. I'm good. Alright. Alright. Alright.
I have to admit, it's kind of strange.
Hmm?
You're looking for Iris. She's in the prosecutor's lobby.
Oh! Hi, Miles!
Edgeworth. What's Iris doing over there? Going over today's testimony with the prosecutor. Speak. His testimony. You heard me. Iris is going to be testifying as a witness for the prosecution. Wait, what? The prosecutor is squeezing her for a confession, or so I heard. Franziska von Karma, what are you up to? I know what you're thinking, but Franziska isn't going to be the prosecutor today. What? Then who is? Who else would it be but Godot?
Of course. It's Godot.
Franziska is engaged in some important work at the Sacred Cavern.
Sacred Cavern? You don't mean that she's...
Exactly. She has been out there all night, trying to remove those trick locks.
Franziska...
The head nun's assistants, naturally. We estimate that the last of the locks should be taken care of in about 3 hours. Hope everything continues to go smoothly, and we receive some good news soon. Thanks, Edgeworth. Prosecutor Godot intends to nail this case shut today. Be prepared to fight like there's no tomorrow. You don't have to tell me that. Touché. I can already see it in your eyes. You're not the same fever-ridden, frantic maniac you were yesterday. It's strange. On the way here, I decided that today would be the end of all this. Almost immediately after I made that decision, I felt myself getting stronger. Interesting. Maybe you passed your cold on to someone else, literally. With that, I leave the rest in your capable hands, partner. Thanks.
He called him partner? Ah?
Still don't have the answers for the most of the riddles plaguing this case. Circumstances around the murder of Miss Elise Donim. No, I mean Miss Misty Fey. Impossible flight Larry claims to have seen. And what that woman is really after. I will solve them all and bring this whole tragedy to an end.
February 10th, 10 a.m. District Court, Courtroom number 7.
Court is now in session for the trial of Iris of Hazakura Temple. Your Honor? What are you... Who, me? Well, my little brother came to visit me in my chambers earlier this morning. All of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, he developed a scorching fever and fainted. Therefore, I'll be standing in for him. I see, Your Honor. So they're brothers. That explains a lot. My poor brother looked a bit pale, not to mention sad that he couldn't be here. It's impossible to predict what the future has in store for any of them. Precisely why people feel the need to judge the past. And we of the court have been charged with the solemn duty of passing such judgment. Well said, Mr. Godot. I understood exactly what you said. At least up until the end, anyway. Now then, Mr. Godot, please proceed with your opening statement. Humans are fragile, fickle beings. Our hearts change with the swift shifting of the tides. There's only one thing that remains constant in this crazy world. The bitter darkness that lies at the bottom of this mug. So then you mean... forget it. What do you mean? During yesterday's trial, the accused refused to admit her role in the crime. But today, she's had a change of heart. Your Iris of Hazakura Temple has a confession. Confession? To the defendant? Why didn't she discuss this with me first? Very well. This court will now hear the defendant's confession. Upon meeting a beautiful lady, always ask for her name and profession. That's one of my rules.
My name is Iris. I am but a simple nun undergoing training at Hazakura Temple.
Witness, is there something that you want to confess to?
Yes, but first I want to apologize to Mr. Wright. I can't continue lying to everyone anymore.
It's all right. Visit.
Mr. Wright, I have to admit that I did play a part in this terrible incident.
What? Are you actually confessing? Are you saying that you were the one who murdered Miss Elise Donim?
No, I'm not, Your Honor. But I dealt with the cover-up after the murder took place. After her spirit left, I took the lifeless shell of Mystic Elise, carried it to the Hazakura Temple courtyard, where I desecrated it.
What? Order in the court! Order! Witness, Are you saying you are an accomplice to the murder?
Yes, that's correct.
What? 3 minutes in court and I'm already covered in a cold sweat. Ah, everyone on this planet is an accomplice to something.
You don't say.
Just so happens to be this case. Murder.
By the way, is it fixed?
Isn't that right? That's right. That Godot. Oh, this is the confession they were inferring about. It pains me to say this. Looks like Iris's testimony is all a lie.
Iris's testimony crumpled up and shoved into a pocket.
Now then, little lady. If you don't mind, I've got a question. Whose crime were you trying to cover up by your action? Iris was covering for someone? Now I'm definitely up a creek without a paddle or a life jacket.
I've been at Hazakura Temple ever since I was a little girl. Hazakura Temple is run by one of the branch families of the Kurine tradition. One of our missions is to protect the main family.
I'm sorry, but main family?
Yes, and that's why I would dirty myself.
I'm thirsty.
Maybe, to protect her.
Thank you for the hydrate.
The daughter of the master of the Kurine channeling technique. Mystic Maya Fey!
There it is.
Huh? Wake up and smell the coffee. She's naming Maya? Order! Order in the court! Oh, not only did you witness the murder, you know the name of the murderer!
Terribly sorry, but it's true. I saw her commit the crime with my very own eyes. And then I cleaned up the area to try to protect her.
That's ridiculous! Maya could never do such a... The defense will refrain from commenting until the appropriate time. Now, witness, let's hear your testimony. What exactly happened on the night of the crime?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thought I was prepared for the unexpected. But I never imagined the case would wind up going in this direction.
I went to the inner temple that night, and I saw it all happen in the garden. I saw... Oh, excuse me. I saw Mystic Elise strike Mystic Maya with her staff. While Mystic Maya was still stumbling, Mystic Elise moved in to deliver a fatal strike. Mystic Maya tried desperately to defend herself and stole the weapon. It was only in self-defense. You can't blame her for it.
Oh, it was in self-defense.
Yes, Mystic Elise was the one who attacked first. That's why I tried my best to protect Mystic Maya.
Move the victim's body to the temple so that Maya wouldn't be suspected. Isn't that right? Not bad. You've got the instincts of a true criminal. Something's not quite right. I'm sure it was established yesterday that Iris never went to the inner temple. That the person who did go was that woman. Iris even admitted it. Now then, Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination.
It has all gone cuckoo loco, hasn't it? Let's press on that.
She moved in to deliver a fatal strike?
Yes, I'm sure of it. She threw down her staff and reached into her robe for a weapon.
Wait a minute. What was this weapon?
It was some kind of dagger.
Dagger. And Elise Donim tried to stab her with this weapon? To kill Miss Faye?
Yes, exactly.
Looked like I did after I mistakenly took a swig of Worcestershire sauce. Huh? You have a problem with the testimony we're hearing from your client, lawyer boy? I have a problem with Iris's testimony?
There is one thing.
Your Honor, I have a small problem with the witness's testimony. You do? But this witness is your own client. Yes, well, nevertheless, that's fine. Witness, let's add your last statement to the testimony.
Yes, sir.
Hey, just a moment. It's my job to say that. Listen, Gramps, I won't say it again. Final judgment will be rendered by me. Jeez, Godot. Okay, now, let's continue. Godot, man!
Are we sure about that? We know the truth. We know the truth.
Sister Iris, there's something strange about your version of events.
Huh?
Miss Stoney throwing her staff away makes no sense at all to me.
But all you can do with a staff is hit someone.
Naturally, you wouldn't know this, Sister Iris, but the victim's staff had a special feature. As you can see, it's a sword.
Ah!
If Elise Stoneham really had wanted to kill Maya Fey,
Whoa! Hey, Neo! Welcome in, Neo! Good to see you!
Incoming raid from Neonipt with 6
Welcome.
viewers.
Welcome in, everybody! Hello, Raiders! For those of you who are new, my name is Arya. I'm a voiceover artist on YouTube, but I also stream games here on Twitch, as you can see. And we are currently playing Ace Attorney, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. Oh boy. Good to see you too? Yes, absolutely! Good to see you, Neo! How was the stream? Kraken Academy. What's that? I've never heard of that before. What is Kraken Academy? Carrot Raid? Yes. Just realized that I used my points on the metal pipe and now I have no points for plug time. It's karma, I guess. Hehehe. Oh, goodness. But either way, Neo, I hope the stream went well. If you need to raid and run, please feel free to do so. Get your food, get water, do what you need to do for your post-stream care. If those from the raid are planning to stick around, I hope you will stick around and enjoy the stream. It was fun. I only just started playing Kraken Academy at the end of the stream, but so far it was fun. I did play through Duck Detective, though, the Secret Salami. That was fun. Oh, I see. I'm glad you had a great stream, Neo. I'm glad. Like I said, if you need to, feel free to go take care of what you need to take care of for your post-stream care, and feel free to lurk if you're planning to stick around. I hope you will enjoy the stream. Thank you so much for bringing your community over here. The salami is a lie. I see. I used fun a lot there. But I would suggest playing the Duck Detective game if you like cutesy detective games. I do like detective games. Maybe after I finish it, another one of the large games, I'll put that one on there. So to take a break from all of the murder and stuff, perhaps.
if Elise Stoneham really had wanted to kill Maya Fey, she wouldn't have needed to use a separate dagger. Not when she already had a beautiful blade in her hands already. Well, Sister Iris, what do you have to say?
I mean, you're right, Dark.
That was an impressive bit of investigating, right? I never would have thought there was a sword hidden in that staff. But even so, how should I put this? Long sword is unwieldy, and thus quite ineffective in close quarters combat. Maybe that's why she chose a dagger over her blade. Well... Anyway, the type of weapon she chose to use isn't what's important. The important thing is that she tried to kill Maya Fey. As long as there's nothing strange about that, there's no problem with her testimony.
I'm thirsty.
Thank you for the hydrate.
There is something strange about this whole testimony.
Oh, excuse me.
Well, Mr. Wright, the prosecution has a point. Very well, Your Honor. The defense will now present evidence to back its argument.
Mr. Wright!
I have here another piece of evidence that shows this testimony can't be trusted. Because Miss Elise Donin would never attempt to take the life of Maya Fey.
Because her real name is Misty Fey.
Elise Donin would never have attacked Maya Fey.
How can you be so sure?
Because the victim's real name is not Elise Donin. Her real name was Misty Fey. Hey!
Ah! No! Not Misty Fey!
Who is this Misty Fey? Is she related to... Misty Fey is the master of the Quran channeling technique. She's also the mother of Maya Fey. Are you serious?
Is it really true? Mr. Wright, was Elise Donin actually the great Mystic Misty?
There's no doubt about it. It looks like Iris had no idea.
Hardly believe it.
The idea that she would try to kill her only daughter, one that she hadn't seen in 17 years. Perhaps the prosecution can offer some explanation for why she would do such a thing? Order! Order in the court! On first hearing the witness's testimony, it seemed natural enough. However, in light of some facts that have just been presented, one, that the victim supposedly threw away a sword during a fight, and two, that the two people battling to the death were mother and daughter, despite the facts being unbelievable when taken on their own. But taken together, the entire story seems difficult to believe. Listen, there's nothing in this world that is impossible, except for one little thing.
Hey everyone,
Yes?
this is Ash.
Oh.
If you are having fun watching the stream, consider giving a follow or subscribing to the channel. Also check out Lady Arya's
welcome.
YouTube channel, Arya Shadesla VA, where she posts comforting ASMR audios of our favorite characters, as well as supporting her throne or asking for audio requests on Patreon or Fiverr. Alright, Ash out.
Thank you for the plug, Ash.
Yes? What is this one little impossible thing? Still don't get it. Think maybe my beans are under roasted, but you have no idea, Gramps. Get to your point. I heard this witness's confession this morning. Just as I had taken the first sip of my 8th cup of morning coffee. Going to ruin your health, my friend. Anyway, after hearing this woman's confession, I had a detective who loves to investigate sent to the scene of the crime. And he discovered this little bit. Is that the dagger the witness testified to seeing? Obviously, Your Honor. But do you not notice something else? How did you mention it? If you look closely, there appears to be blood on it. Where did you find that? I didn't see that when I investigated the crime scene. Did you investigate the pine tree at the crime scene? Huh? The pine tree? This dagger was stuck in the back side of the pine tree. The last blow was struck, ending the violent battle between the two women. This little baby was thrown in the direction of the back of the pine tree. Means the blood on this dagger belongs to the victim, correct? Ah, were you even listening, old man? I first heard this confession this morning, just as I had taken the first sip of my 13th cup of morning coffee. Didn't you say it was your 8th just a few minutes ago? I didn't have enough time to get the blood analyzed on such short notice. In any case, this court will accept the dagger as evidence. Furthermore, I order that a blood test be performed on it immediately. This is my sweetheart. Make sure you treat her right. Bailiff, get this piece of evidence to the crime lab for testing immediately.
Dagger. Found behind a tree in the inner temple garden. The blood is being analyzed now.
Now then, the testimony we've just heard had numerous unbelievable aspects to it. However, after having found the very dagger the witness spoke of, I believe we can consider her testimony to be credible.
No. Not quite.
You girls never lie. Ever.
Right.
In any case, witness, if you could please testify again to this court.
About what, Your Honor?
About the incident you saw. A battle between the two women.
Yes, Your Honor. Mystic Maya stumbled briefly after being hit over the head with the staff. But then she dodged Mystic Elise's next attack and stole her weapon. Suddenly, Mystic Elise was the one with her on the defensive, with her back to the stone lantern. That's when Mystic Maya stabbed Mystic Elise. Mystic Elise managed to fling the knife away, but then she collapsed.
That was a very heartbreaking story.
I don't know if there were any bad feelings, but it had been 17 years since Mystic disappeared. Perhaps they simply didn't recognize each other anymore.
That seems reasonable. Now then, Mr. Wright, proceed with your cross-examination.
Something stinks. Something stinks. It smells really bad. Let me check something. Time, 10 to 11 p.m. Cause, loss of blood from a stab in the back. If her back was against the pillar, there's no way she could be stabbed in the back. Nice try.
Something about you just isn't right today, Chris.
Huh?
Until now, I didn't think you were the type to make such a careless mistake. However, the testimony you just gave contains quite a few contradictions.
What do you mean? What's so wrong about my testimony?
According to you, Maya Fey stabbed the victim while she had her back to the stone lantern, correct?
Yes, that's right.
But in that case, the victim would have been stabbed in the stomach, right? Yes, I think so. But according to the autopsy report, the cause of death was due to blood loss from a stab wound in her back. This proves that the victim was stabbed from behind, not from the front. Sister Iris, it appears another seed of doubt has sprouted from your testimony. What? What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? Ah, it's simple. People are like books. All got a front and a back. Get my drift?
Uh-huh. No, I don't. I don't, Godot.
Is that all you have to say? I can also say that darkness loves to play with the human mind.
Would you please knock it off with the cheesy proverbs and illogical metaphors already?
The point is, too much of this testimony just doesn't make sense. Throwing away a useful staff, the people fighting between mother and daughter, and now she falsely claims the victim was stabbed in the stomach. There certainly are some inconsistencies. Well, Iris, how about it?
Well, it's just...
If you ask me, you're just being too naive about the whole thing. What do you mean? There are 253 distinct types of bitterness in coffee. To pick each one out requires total concentration and use of all the senses. Were you really concentrating on what this witness actually said? Prosecutor Godot, explain yourself! The witness was quite unambiguous about her own ambiguities when she said that the garden was dark and she couldn't see clearly. Oh, human needs one thing to see clearly. That is light. Light! By the way, did you know Kazakura has a rule that on the nights where an acolyte is in the inner temple training, the stone lantern in the garden must be kept lit. I did wonder what that stone lantern was there for. Well, if that's true, couldn't the witness have been able to see the crime more clearly? Normally, yes, Your Honor. But according to the head nun, Sister Kini, on the night of the crime, it was impossible to light that stone lantern. Possible? It hadn't been used in a long time, and the wick was no good. In other words, it had been nearly pitch black in the garden that night. It could have been a faint light coming in from the training hall, but that's all. Most enlightening. Yes, that illuminating fact has chased away the contradictions. If the staff was dropped, it would be difficult to see. It also explains why they didn't recognize each other. You can't see the demons that lurk in the night. That's why we humans are. Isn't that right, Trite? No! Oh boy! There go all the contradictions. Order! 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 Here, Your Honor. Let me present the stone lantern into evidence. Maybe it'll rekindle the flame of truth in your mind.
Stone lantern. A lantern from the inner temple garden. Was not lit the night of the crime.
Why is the judge still sitting there with that look on his face? What's wrong, Your Honor? Was that flame too hot? This lantern. There's something written on it. Why? It's written in blood! Oh boy! So the judge didn't know about that yet. Written blood. It says Maya! It says Maya upside down! What the?
Oh, yes. That's right. You're being cornered and then stabbed by Mystic Maya. Mystic Elise didn't fall right away. She must have been riding on that stone lantern behind her. With the blood that was draining out of her body.
It certainly looks that way.
Objection!
Hang on. Hang on just a minute. What are y'all talking about? What do you mean, what are we all talking about? We're talking about the message written in blood. Nonsense. This lantern. It's clean as a whistle. Could it be? He can't see the bloody writing at all? Now that I think of it, he did say something to me yesterday. My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything. That's what he meant by that. In any case, this is obviously an important clue. We now know that the crime scene was dark. And that the victim scrawled this message on the stone lantern. Well, Mr. Godot, anything further? Mr. Godot? Okay, let's move on. Godot is literally shaking, and somehow I don't think it's from caffeine overdose. I believe it has now been established that Miss Donim was killed by Maya Fey. That's just wrong! Now it's time to turn our attention to you.
Yes, sir.
After the victim died, you did something, didn't you? Let's hear it. They're all ears.
After Mystic Elise died, I called out to Mystic Maya. I thought it was my duty to protect the future master of the Korean tradition. So I removed the body from the inner temple by myself. I dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge. Then I used the snowmobile to carry it back to Hazakura Temple and... I used the shishito to alter the way the wound looked.
So you moved the body.
It was raised at Hazakura Temple. I owe a great deal of thanks to the Fae clan. But even so, I never imagined that Elise Stonen was actually Misty Fae. Committed a terrible sin.
A terrible trick of fate. I believe you're looking for twist of fate, Your Honor.
I intended to return to the inner temple after taking care of the body, but...
You were spotted by the head nun, correct?
Yes, that's why I couldn't go back.
The story makes sense, I suppose. You're right. Go ahead with your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor.
You used the snowmobile to carry it back to Hazakura Temple, huh? He's more bothered by that blood message than anything. Why is that?
The snowmobile? I knew that would show up sooner or later.
Yes, I had the key. I used the snowmobile to travel from Hazakura Temple to Dusky Bridge.
This is the part that was in question the other day. Could I ask for more details?
What about the tracks?
You really did move our body by snowmobile. Then there should be tracks left in the snow, right? Well, yes, naturally you would expect tracks. This picture was presented at yesterday's trial. Are these the tracks from that ride?
Yes, I think they are.
But I don't only see one set of tracks here.
I don't see what's so strange about that. Snow was still falling when I left Hazakura Temple.
I see. Snow was still falling, huh?
And then when the murder took place, it had already stopped. That's why there are still such fresh-looking tracks.
How about it, Mr. Wright? What do you think about this testimony?
Very important.
The murder took place. The snow had already stopped? That doesn't make sense if you stack it up against other evidence. Your Honor, I'd like to see the statement Iris just made added to the testimony. For what? Does it have something to do with the case? All will be made clear if you allow her statement to be added to the record. This should be fun. Let's get this snow business cleared up, shall we?
Yes, sir.
The snow had already stopped, huh? But then this statement doesn't make sense now, if you think about it. This statement now doesn't make sense. It doesn't align with the weather data.
Claim that the snow had already stopped when the murder occurred. But I'm sorry, Iris. That just isn't possible.
What?
This is the weather data from the night of the murder. According to this, the snow didn't stop until 10:50 p.m. But you couldn't have crossed Dusky Bridge at that time.
Why do you say that?
Just 5 minutes before the snow stopped. Dusky Bridge was struck by lightning and it caught on fire.
What did you say? The bridge? It was on fire!
You don't mean to say you didn't know about it? It was because of that lightning strike that the bridge burned down!
What? But it can't be!
looks like you still haven't figured it out. No matter how hard you try to deceive or conceal the truth, you can't pull the wool over the eyes of a real defense attorney.
No!
Order! 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 The bridge was already on fire when the incident took place. That's right. The Inner Temple was already totally cut off from the outside world. There's no way you could have crossed the bridge, body or no body. Witness, even my patience has its limits. Any further lying and I will find you in contempt of court. Do you have anything to say for yourself? The only person here that is truly contemptible is you. Old man. Me? How dare you? Whether this witness lied or not doesn't mean squat right now. Squat? The important thing now is to find out the truth, isn't that right? Yes, of course, but whether it was snowing or not snowing, or whether the bridge was burning or not, there were two facts that can't be disputed. First, the body of Elise Stonin was discovered in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. Second, the head nun, Sister Bikini, witnessed Irish desecrating Elise Stonin's body. It's a good point, on both accounts.
That's right. I'm not lying.
What are you claiming this time?
I wasn't myself at all that night. So my memory is still somewhat hazy.
You have stood at that witness stand and testified this entire time. Are you telling us now that your memory of that night is hazy? It's only human to err. You're so perfect, right? Maybe you can explain this for the court. What is it? When the murder happened, the bridge had already burnt down. But somehow the body traveled across the bridge and was found in the temple courtyard. Perhaps you have some kind of perfect explanation for this little magic trick? Ah! Well, not exactly, no. Though there must have been some other way she got across that burnt-out bridge. But unless I can somehow demonstrate it, we'll never know the truth. It looks like the defense is not prepared to offer a suitable explanation. You see what I mean? In other words, you're in no position to suggest that this lady's testimony isn't the truth. Ah! All right then. Witness, let's hear your testimony once more.
About what, Your Honor?
You've admitted that you've moved the victim's body. Nevertheless, your prior testimony contained a rather large inconsistency. Please add an explanation for that to your testimony.
Yes, Your Honor.
Will this be her final testimony?
This is getting nuts again? Oh yeah.
Other than walking over to the bridge, there's no way to move the body.
Thirsty.
Thank you for the hydrate.
So I must have just gotten confused, I guess. Was the snow still falling or had it stopped? Does it really matter that much? Or are you saying that there isn't a way to cross a burning bridge?
It was just a misunderstanding, I see. This is a photo of Dusky Bridge after it burned down from the lightning blast. It's taken on the morning after the incident. It certainly was burned to a crisp, and one of the suspension wires even snapped. It's amazing the whole bridge didn't fall.
One of the suspension wires snapped, huh?
Clearly, it would be impossible to carry a corpse across a bridge in this condition.
Taken the morning after the crime.
Unless I do something to discredit this testimony, it's going to be deemed as the truth, and Maya will be accused of murder. Right. I'm only gonna say it one more time. It's only for humans, so it is only human to err. And only humans can spot the errors of our ways. sense he makes, the less sense he makes. Alright, Mr. Wright, please begin your final cross-examination.
Well... There is some way to move a body. According to a certain... I wonder if Butts' hideous portrait will come in handy? It's funny you should say that, Dark. Because we're gonna present that right now.
A dead body flying over a burning bridge. I wouldn't exactly rule out the possibility. What? Ah, just saying it's possible. Don't make me laugh. The only thing that's possible about your claim is that it's been pulled out of thin air. I don't know about that. In any case, we have a witness who did see it happen. Preposterous! Who is this? Who is this witness? Can't chicken out here. Gotta keep on the attack and go, go, go. Miss Elise Donim's brilliant and highly gifted apprentice. Maurice Donim. Brilliant. Highly gifted?
Apprentice?
Remember what he said in his testimony. That night, he was at the Mountain Shack, Heavenly Hall. And that's when he witnessed the event. I think you've all seen this sketch before. It's an exact drawing of what he witnessed that night. Are you serious? Today's not April Fool's Day today, is it? You're right. Are you seriously claiming that the victim flew through the air? And you're using this pathetic scribble to support your argument? Uh-oh. Judge looks like he's about to blow a gasket. Well, Trite, there's nowhere for you to hide now. Other than looking like it was drawn by a 6-year-old, what does this sketch prove anything? Yes. Pretty sure it does. I'm going to prove it. Listen, I know your tricks. You're trying to turn this whole thing upside down. You're so eager to turn this case upside down. Why not start with this sketch? Upside down. Why did Godot say that? Alright then. Let's hear the defense's story. Theory. What exactly is this sketch trying to show? I don't think old Whiskerface is going to forgive any more mistakes. Alright, Phoenix. Look carefully and think it over. The sketch drawn by Maurice Donim is...
A complete contradiction.
Something is obviously funny about this sketch. I'm no art critic, but even I can see that. No, that's not what I mean, Your Honor. Maurice Donim stated it over and over, that this sketch was exactly as he saw it. However, if we are to believe his testimony, then the sketch contradicts reality as we know it.
Contradicts reality?
This is getting interesting. Looks like you're back to that finger-pointing thing again. Okay, Troy. What exactly contradicts reality as we know it?
How about this lovely suspension wire over here?
It's this wire connected to the bridge. The wire? That's the thing that contradicts reality. It is indeed. Then show us the reality it supposedly conflicts with. Show us something that will point out how the sketch contradicts reality.
How about the fact that in the Dusky Bridge photo, that same wire is all the way down here? Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting, if I do say so myself.
That's a photo of Dusky Bridge, correct? Yes. Now compare the sketch and the photo for a minute. In the sketch, the wires appear to be above the guard wires. But on the actual Dusky Bridge, jumping Jehoshaphat! The wires are below the guard wires. What? Order! This sketch is somewhat different than what's depicted in this photo. However, isn't it likely that the artist just saw it wrong?
Or perhaps he just drew it wrong.
Either way, it sounds like you're just wrong. With someone like Laurice, I admit a mistake is definitely possible. Then that begs the question, why did he make a mistake? What was the reason? Are you saying you know the answer to that? Listen, think back, alright? Remember what Laurice was doing when he witnessed the event. He was at Heavenly Hall, waiting for a lover that was never going to come. Waited and waited, and finally, he laid down. But then, lightning shoots from the sky and sets the bridge aflame. Now ponder what sort of position Laurice must have been in at the time. He was lying on his back, which is why he remembered the scene the way he did. He was lying on his back? I can't see how it relates. But it does, Your Honor. That is the reason why the wires in the sketch go up instead of down. Ah! No way. Laurice Stone had witnessed the event while lying on his back, face up. In other words, the scene that he saw was actually upside down. So then, the sketch should actually be... I think you finally get it, Your Honor. The correct way to view Laurice Stone's sketch is like this. This is how it should actually look. The victim's body wasn't flying above the bridge, it was actually swinging below. That's right, just like a pendulum. Ridiculous! Order! Of all the things to say, a pendulum? The bridge was burning to a crisp. There was no way to get across it. But if the body had been found at the inner temple, it would have caused problems. So this is where the criminal decided to take a gamble. He used the burning bridge to get the body across to the other side. And a pendulum was the only way to get it done. Let's think about this for a minute, shall we? Dusky Bridge is about 20 yards long, which means it was about that far from the inner temple to the opposite cliff. Yes, that sounds right. In order to cover that distance with a pendulum, you need a rope at least 10 yards long. To get a rope that long, you'd have to plan ahead. Lightning strike that night can only have been an accident. It doesn't make a sense that the culprit would have prepared the rope beforehand. So then, they didn't have to get the rope ready. The rope was already right in front of them. What? I'm saying that it was just a matter of using what was already there. In that case, Mr. Wright, please give us an explanation to support your theory. What makes you think the criminal had the rope on hand to create a pendulum?
How about that lovely suspension rope that was cut?
And the music is so good, I agree.
And the meaning of this is,
if you want to know where the rope came from, it's hanging right there in front of your glorious beard.
ah! This is one of the wires from the bridge.
When the lightning struck the bridge and set it on fire, one of the suspension wires came loose from its anchor. The criminal didn't have any time to waste, so they tied the wire around Elise Stonehim's body. Because there was simply no other way to move the body. Ha. Whoa! Chug that coffee there, Godot! Dang!
Mr. Godot! Seems that Mr. Godot is more focused on his coffee than answering my question. It seems that the odds of a rope being readily available were very high. So I suppose that it's not an impossibility after all. Possible or impossible? That's not the question we need to ask. There's only one question. Did that really happen? That's right. I wonder if you can prove what happened to us. Do you have any actual evidence that the body was swung over like a pendulum?
How about the autopsy report that stated that she fell from a height of 10 feet after death? Meaning, when she was swung over and the body flew off, that the body fell from a height of at least 10 feet.
Before I present my evidence, let me review what we know so far. According to this photo, one of the wires snapped. Looking at the map, we can see it's the one that was in front of the inner temple. Oh then, that was the spot where the criminal... Yes, precisely. Now let us consider the body's movement by looking at the overhead map again. It's the body was pushed from this point here. It would drop on the opposite bank at approximately this point. Did you say drop? Well, they must have failed to catch the body on the other bank.
What? What makes you think something like that happened?
Because I have evidence that suggests her body dropped from some distance.
What kind of evidence?
Take a look at this autopsy report.
Oh gosh, dang it. Hold on. Should be fixed now.
It says here that her body fell about 10 feet after her death. 10 feet, huh? That most likely is the height difference between the two sides. The body overswung due to forward momentum, but then came loose and fell at about 10 feet. And then, as a result of the landing impact, this crystal sphere was knocked loose.
That's...
Yes, it's bloodstained amethyst crystal. It's the one that came off of Miss Elise Donim's staff. And even more important is the place where this crystal sphere was found. Indeed, I believe it's already marked on the overhead map. The crystal was found. Ah! Precisely, Your Honor. In the very spot where the pendulum would arrive if given the right amount of speed. This explains your theory quite well, Mr. Wright. You have provided us with the way the body could have been moved that night. An impressive deduction, Mr. Wright. Most impressive. Mr. Wright! I thought this cold coffee might help cool you down. What is the meaning of this, Mr. Godot? That was a dark and bitter guess that you made, Trent. Forgot about one thing. Oh, and what would that be? The aroma. Huh? Coffee's most reliable accomplice is its deep and profound aroma. The rest of the court doesn't speak coffee-nese. Can you please elaborate a bit more? The criminal had sent the body to the other side, like you say. And naturally, there must have been an accomplice lying in wait to catch it. An accomplice? The criminal wasn't able to cross Dusky Bridge. Who collected the body? What do you have to say about that, Trey? The Godot is correct. This can't be the work of a single person. Oh, Mr. Wright, you know what you must do. Yes, Your Honor. The body couldn't have made it to Hazakura Temple without an accomplice. Very well then, if you please, Mr. Wright. Who was the person that received the body on the Hazakura Temple side?
There's only one person. Only one. Iris.
It can only be you, Sister Iris.
Huh? Ah! But
I don't see why you're so surprised. The only way to transport the body from Dusky Bridge is by snowmobile. But with her bad luck, bad back, Sister Bikini could never pick up a body like that. You're the only one that could have managed it. Objection! Right, were you even listening to the witness's testimony? On the night of the crime, this little cutie pie. On a cleanup duty in the inner temple garden after the mother-daughter bloodbath. I haven't forgotten, but have you, Mr. Godot? This witness was also seen at Hazakura Temple, desecrating the corpse of the victim. Strange indeed. It's almost as if, on that night, the defendant was in 2 different places at the same time. Sister Iris, let me ask you something. Why didn't you mention it when you first gave your testimony?
Mention what?
The pendulum, of course. Using this sketch drawn by an eyewitness, I have established how the body was moved using the burnt-out bridge. Means it's now a fact that this occurred. Something you should have already known.
No! I had no idea! I didn't even know anything about a pendulum!
But the body couldn't have been passed along to the other side without your help. So you should have known about it. In fact, it'd be impossible for you to be clueless about the whole thing. Unless you're not really Iris to begin with.
What? How can you say that, Mr. Wright?
What? What kind of nonsense is this? You're saying that this witness is not Iris of Hazakura Temple? Objection! Are you serious, Trent? This woman is... There's no one else besides Iris that could have received the corpse that night. Now I get it. Now I know why I've been sick to my stomach this whole trial. Why her whole demeanor changed so differently from yesterday. And why she's trying to pin this murder on Maya. The woman that's standing there at the witness stand, her real name is... Dahlia Hawthorne! Take that! I never thought I'd have to utter your name again, let alone see you. It's been a long time. Dahlia Hawthorne. Hawthorne? Sister Iris had a twin sister. And you're looking at her, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. That name rings some bells. Distant bells, but bells nonetheless. It's just your imagination, Gramps. This file contains all the relevant data about Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh yes, I remember now. That case, 5 years ago.
My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I just want to say, it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence.
The honor is all mine! Oh, the honor is all mine! But, according to this, Dahlia Hawthorne, he's already dead. It says her execution was carried out last month. So what? Death is no meaning in this courtroom. What? Order, order, order!
Wait a moment! How can you... My sister, she's already dead! What kind of...
You of all people should already understand. After all, the blood of the master of Karine channeling technique flows within that body. The Karine channeling technique? Now where have I heard that? That's right, you're not Dahlia Hawthorne herself. You're the spirit of Dahlia, currently inhibiting the body of a spirit medium. What an exciting story. Exciting, but quite impossible. They're asking us to buy that Dahlia Hawthorne just happened to be channeled by someone. On the very night of the murder, to the temple where her twin sister Iris was. Well, if you're going to put things that way, then yes. We're supposed to believe a coincidence like that just happens? Naturally, it was no coincidence. The whole thing was part of a plan from the very beginning. It's all written right here in these instructions.
What's that?
These instructions were written by your mother, Morgan Fay. And part of the plan called for Dahlia Hawthorne to be channeled. That night, there were 2 irises at Hazakura Temple. 2 of them. Even the time of the channeling was planned out. As soon as you hear the lights out bell. In other words, 10 p.m. However, Iris was seen before dinner time. That means the Iris that was at dinner was the real Iris. And the Iris who gave me this hood in the main hall was also the real Iris. Meaning that the Iris Sister Bikini saw at the inner temple was someone else dressed as her. Namely one Dahlia Hawthorne. Do you even know what you're saying, Trite? This whole channeling the spirit of Dahlia Hawthorne business. Yes, it's true that you found plans and talk about it. However, there's one thing that's perfectly clear. The witness currently standing in the witness stand is the real Iris. What? Calm down and remember what you know about the night of the crime. After meeting Sister Bikini, the Dahlia Hawthorne that had been channeled would have been stranded at the inner temple due to the lightning storm. It was later that the body was moved by pendulum. That's right. Naturally, that would mean that Iris that received the body was the real Iris. Are you with me so far? Yes? After being notified of what happened, the police came to Kazagora Temple's main hall. There they found Iris in her room and arrested her. And ever since, she's been under police supervision at the detention center.
No, she hasn't. Not the whole time. Also, yes, a little bit.
Yes, I suppose. I can't deny any of that.
Thank goodness. It looks like he's finally convinced.
But something still seems off. Way off. I'm still not convinced that the Iris here is the same one from the other night. I suppose you're about to say something really ridiculous. Like the real Iris and the spirit of Dahlia somehow switched places? Switched places? To be perfectly honest, there are still quite a few things I don't understand, but I do know that unless we confirm the witness's identity, we can't continue with this trial. Iris doesn't have the spiritual power needed to channel Dahlia, which means must have switched places somewhere. Well, Mr. Wright, since the time she was arrested at Hazakura Temple, have there been any chances for Iris to switch places with Dahlia Hawthorne?
Alright, bye, Shades! Hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you for stopping by. Stay sharp!
There was one chance.
Your Honor, I think there might have been one chance. Oh, explain yourself. Yesterday, for a few minutes, Iris's whereabouts were unknown. Unknown? What do you mean? What I mean is, there was a span of time in which Iris was able to move about freely, unsupervised. Well, who was it? Who would give a murder suspect time to move about freely like that? I'm sorry. No, you didn't mean to. It wasn't your fault. The person who gave Iris the chance to freely move about was...
Sorry, Miles. Sorry, Miles. We gotta say it. I'm sorry.
This is Mr. Edgeworth, isn't it? Your Honor, there was a fairly large earthquake yesterday, was there not? An earthquake?
Earthquake! Oh my goodness! The inner temple! This kind of tremor might...
How could I have... She fled. She escaped. We went to the inner temple right away. And it's true, Iris was already there. However, they had already switched places by that point in time. When I arrived at the training hall, I was met by none other than Dahlia Hawthorne. That's quite enough already, Mr. Wright. Now see here. No judge in his right mind would consider the idea of spirit channeling and...
Be quiet.
Sorry you had to let your court husband go down, Lady Arya.
Oh.
It is what it is. It has been a long time, Mr. Jack.
That voice! I guess I'll have to ask again. Upon meeting a beautiful lady, always ask for her name and profession. That's one of my rules.
Dahlia Hawthorne. And my current profession? Permanently retired.
Ah, so you're not going to bother hiding your identity anymore, huh?
Why should I? After all, I'm dead. There's really nothing you can do to punish me.
What is going on here? Dahlia Hawthorne. Never thought we'd meet. And I never thought we'd meet like this. But this time, I'll end it. For her, and for myself.
To be continued. And that is where we shall stop for today. Ha ha ha! Cliffhanger! Hee hee hee. Yeah, that was a lot. We definitely need to take a break and save this for next time because holy moly, it's a lot. Cliffhanger alert! Cliffhanger alert! Woo woo! Indeed. Oh boy! Hi, Aiden. A lot of stuff has happened. So, Dahlia is being channeled by someone, thus bringing her to life. And Iris, the real Iris, is somewhere still over there. I wonder who? I wonder who's channeling Dahlia right now. I wonder. Dahlia is being a pain even after death. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, keep your head screwed on, though. We're not done yet. We still got a lot left to go. We're almost there, but we still got a lot left to go. Alrighty, though. Thank you so much for coming, everybody. Thank you so much for the stream today. You seem to be having fun playing dumb. Oh, I am. I am enjoying From the Shadows. I'm in the shadows of my mind. I'm like, hee hee hee, I know what it is. I know what's happening. Alrighty, though. Okay. Let's go ahead and find somebody to raid today before we head off. Who shall we raid today? Reliable is live. I think we can raid Reliable today. Ooh! An art stream! Drawing OCs! Ah! I love OCs. This will definitely be interesting to watch. Let's go ahead and raid our friend Reliable then. If you're headed over to the raid, please type Shadeslay Raid in the chat so that she knows that we are there to support her. Also, if you are headed over, be sure to follow all of her rules as you would mine. And once again, as always, have fun. Alrighty, tomorrow and Thursday. Tomorrow and Thursday, just as a note, no streams. Wednesday, I don't stream, but Thursday, because it's my day off, but Thursday, there is no stream this week because it is the 4th of July for the American citizens. Meaning it is a holiday. So I am taking that day off from both streaming and posting videos. So there is nothing happening on the 4th of July. But we will be back to streaming on Friday. That will be Friday, July 5th. And we will be replacing the Professor Layton stream there as Lyra is away on that day. So we will be doing Professor Layton on Friday instead of Sunhaven. Alrighty. Thank you so much for coming, everybody. And I will see you all after the 4th of July holiday. Bye! Stay sharp, Shadeslayers!